Greetings. I'm listening.
Great to meet you.
I've been expecting you.
For the good.
You come get the voodoo.
Hey there. And you are?
Light be with you.
You come to consult the spirits?
Welcome to Orgrimmar. Have you come to serve the Horde?
Shiny. Sail here. Me buy and trade. What?
Sail here, me buy and trade. What?
Hello and welcome to Control Alt WoW, the podcast for those of us who love World of Warcraft and love making many alts. Today is Monday, July 1st, 2019, and this is episode 620 entitled 8.2, Mechagon or Nazjatar. What's your choice? I'm Aprillian, your host, and with me are my two kind of sometimes awesome co-hosts.
Nice.
Grand Nagus, how are you today?
This is me first. Okay, I'm good.
Good.
Yeah. I've been kitty hunting.
Oh.
So got my first Mechagon mount, and I've been seahorse hunting. So I got my first Nazjatar mount.
Oh, nice.
But more of that in my segment.
Right.
Awesome.
And Grand Nagus, Constructs, how are you doing?
I'm good. Canada dings 160 today.
Oh, congratulations or happy birthday.
Signed that big form saying everybody's all in. We are all fantastic. We're very, very happy. There's going to be fireworks later on, so if at some point it goes puff, beef, poof, beef, it's my speakers.
Oh, wow. That's cool. We're going to get that on Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Are you ready? Are you ready for Thursday?
Well, I have to work, so it doesn't matter much.
We're not getting it at all because no one really cares here.
Oh, no.
Oh, we got like October 3rd, but yeah, no one cares.
Yeah, that's just a reason to drink beer.
Not even that. It's something that,
Yeah, gotcha.
it's lost its charm, even though it's the 30th anniversary this year of the reunification.
Oh, wow. Since David Hasselhoff brought you guys together.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. But
I don't know why that cracks me up, but he feels like he had something to do
David
with it.
Hasselhoff can do anything.
Yes, he can.
I watched him on TV from a young age.
Yes. All right. And what do we have going on this week besides Midsummer Festival? Woohoo, let's go put out fires and light fires.
There's incursions going on because I've been doing a couple just for the hoping to get a mount out of there. You have to have like 700 currency, which means you can't spend it. You have to
hold on to it. Yeah.
I don't know if it's healthy or not, but I'm trying.
What else is going on?
We had the release of the patch, which
patch.
I slept through the whole day. I got on at like 8 p.m. at night. It was great. Everything was stable. Nothing was crashing at that point.
Yeah, they had like 3 or 4 hours. They launched. When the service went live. That's how I wanted to phrase it. 3 or 4 hours early. Ahead of the scheduled time.
Oh, so, nice.
Yeah.
That's nice when that happens. All right.
So, yeah, that's something that, and a whole lot of stuff went on.
How's the chat room doing? And remember, if you're listening to us on the podcast, you can join us at twitch.tv/CTRLALTWOWPODCAST.
Control
Curly
Wow podcast.
Moderator and myself.
Yep.
Okay. I tweet it, so hopefully we'll get some.
It's the overview for July, since we've got a new month. So normally I wanted to give people an overview of what's going to happen this month, since it's a new month. Since there's quite a bit going on, aside from the fireworks at the end of the Midsummer Fire Festival. Then we have the new raid, the Eternal Palace, starting next week on the 9th for normal and heroic difficulty. And the Mythic and LFR Wing 1 starts on the 16th. And then the Wing 2 of the Eternal Palace for LFR starts on the 30th, or opens up at the 30th. And then 2 weeks after that, the final wing of LFR, but that's like next month. So next week we are going to have Dark Moon Fair. We are going to have, what is this called? Luminaries?
Oh, yeah.
That's like
That's
a
when
new...
you light those things for the boat?
I think that's a new, might call it, I'm not familiar with that one yet. But it might be, since I don't
GG engineers have discovered luminescent creatures in the depths of Vashir. They need your help to research the creatures before they disappear into the deep once again. Oh, so it's just a gimmick to get us to Vashir.
Yep.
Yeah, it might be fun. That's going to be on the 13th.
On the 13th, correctly, and only on that day. Apparently, since, or is it, wait, let me just check if it lasts throughout a day where there is other stuff going on, but I don't see that.
It says that it's going to last from 12:01 a.m.
to 11:59
No,
p.m.
11:59
Yeah.
is... okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the whole day then, I guess.
Yeah, Michael Holiday, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and next week we are going to have another pet battle bonus
Oh, nice.
week, which is always nice.
Yes.
Sadly, we just had the Squirt Day last week, I think.
Yeah.
So there is no Super Squirt Day this time around. We are going to have PvP Brawl Packed House next week. We are going to have time on the 16th. We are going to have time walking, which is going to be Lich King time walking.
Oh.
Together with a time walking raid that is Ulduar. So if you want to go into a challenging version of Ulduar, which it really is, Ulduar time walking is one challenge. If you ever wanted to see how Ulduar was back in the day,
Right.
how you just breeze through it, that is really, really well done. they really tuned it well. I think they even had to retune the first boss because it was kind of overtuned. They like hit the wall there over and over the first time it was active, the time walking Ulduar version. People were just not able to do it, or many weren't. So, and then we have the dance party.
Oh yeah,
Dance
right.
party.
The auction house dance party.
Yep. And that is on the 22nd. We have the arena skirmish bonus event, which is like that's like, what's it, you get more honor or something, or more valor, or whatever the currency is.
Right.
I think. That starts on the 23rd. We have the PvP Brawl Ashran, Classic Ashran. Where normally you have the what are called epic battlegrounds. Now they introduced them in, what was it, 8.1.5, and but this is the special old style one. I'm not sure about what the differences are, but anyway, you have the option to do that. And we have the bonus, the World Quest bonus event, where you get 50% additional rep for your World Quest. So if you are not done with your flying by the 30th of this month, you will gain 50% additional rep for the week following the 30th. So that should boost your grind towards flying quite a bit. And then the last thing we have this month on July the 31st is the also popular Kirin Tor Tavern Crawl. I'm not sure what that is because I never did it, but yeah. Apparently people think that that's like quite the popular thing to do. So yeah.
All right.
Okay, that's basically an overview over what this month brings us.
Awesome. All right, well, let's get started.
I've had a fantastic weekend. Wow. It's very comforting. Those battlegrounds where you're not necessarily putting out more damage, but you feel like you're contributing more by pushing all the buttons all at once. Bad boy. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Constructs, how's your weekend WoW been?
It was good until all the add-ons broke.
I know. That was
basically, WoW popped up with this message: "Don't even try. Don't even think about it. Just disable everything now."
Yeah.
Well, I must.
You don't need that parachute. You can just leave it behind. We will give you stuff. Just don't load any of your add-ons right now, please, please, please. So that's what I did. Is I disabled all my add-ons on all my characters, and I went in not knowing what to expect, and I was pleasantly surprised to find something familiar in the 5.1 style, where I was telling a little bit of the story, and I had a little buddy with me, a bodyguard, so to speak, who sort of tells you a story. You know, when you go somewhere, he says, "Oh, well, you know, these guys are real enemies, or these guys, you know, they're kind of friendly, or you can try this or do that. So it's nice to have like a little introduction. So you have to have the sound on while you play. Otherwise, you miss stuff. And they don't do quest text to the end of time. Basically, you enter an area, and if there's something appropriate for you, the map lights up. So it's kind of very intuitive. I also multi-boxed part of it the second day because I'm like, I don't understand Nazjatar, how it's made, how everything clicks together. And he said it was going to be a custom experience for every player. So when I logged in on the second character, there were areas that were phased.
Oh,
so
interesting.
I had to figure out how to do stuff without my tank. So I had my little buddy. I sort of planned ahead. I said, I'll take the little buddy who's like a tank because you can take like a healer, you can take a DPS with you, or you can take a tank, depending on what kind. If you play Horde, depending on what kind of helper you need. So since I was playing a mage, I said, oh, I'll take a tank so he can sort of line things in a row. And at the end of the first day, you get to a gear check where you need 200. You need 2 pieces of 400 armor because at that point it really is a GPS check or a survivability check or a tanking check because the mob has 5 times your health, 8 times your health, or 10 times your health. So you're just not going to pass through it, and it's phased, so you can't get through it even if you have somebody who is at the same point.
Right.
Each other. So you have to solo this elemental in a cave for this kind of, I want to say alchemist. And I thought, well, I can get through this if I just, we had a thing where we had like my paladin in there with my mage. And what I did is I put the 2-seater mount. I would ride the mage because he had the whole map discovered. So that would make it very easy to get to where I was going. And I would put the paladin on the back because when you ride a 2-seater mount through a cross around the area, what ends up happening is your mount is immune, sort of. You're always at 100% health. And your passenger is passing through the area with a little bit of lag, a little bit of a delay.
Right. And they get all the...
hits your passenger. So, fortunately for me, my passenger was the geared paladin wearing plate being pummeled with physical damage, which is reduced by almost 50% depending on what I wear. So it was a breeze to get to anywhere because the mage had the area all scouted out. I had my discovery of Nazjatar on the first day, so that was great for me. And then I had all the flight points as well. So that was uber fantastic to have the paladin there to sort of shield me from this being dismounted, and I could just run through like a whole pack of elites, and then the paladin's health because the Azurite gear has both a shield and a regenerative piece of armor. So basically, the health bar doesn't drop very much, even if you're passing through elites. So it was really, really. Like it was like having a little party because you had your 3 DPS, you had the Pally as a little bit of a mixed healer, and the Pally's henchman as a little bit of a mixed healer, and you had the buddy of the mage, both the elemental and the little goblinish figure doing the tanking. So like I had my group of 5, so I was like super happy because like I didn't die too much. The only reason I would die is like jumping off a high cliff and forgetting to do slow fall on the way down. Everybody dies. And then I just use the paladin first to go, and then I can res the mage. So that's super handy because then you're always together. And then occasionally I would see on the paladin quests from the first day. So I would know that those are part of the storyline to unlock the reputation to revered. So okay, so like it felt very familiar, very like 5.1-ish, because you have the two little guys explaining all the stuff, and it was great. And I wasn't in a hurry to go anywhere, because I was playing on a low population realm, and there was lots of elites, lots of rares. Once per hour, it seems like all the rares are up at the same time, and then they all go down within 2 minutes, because people they appear on the map as Warfront heroes. So basically, everybody from both factions can see them. And speaking of PvP, I tried on Warfront because my druid finally capped to 120. So I wanted to see. That was awesome. I wanted to see how does it work with the phasing, the elites, the different zones, the quests. So I tried a few things, and I tried decloaking because I had the rogue and the druid. So I tried decloaking on the same spot on the road. You can't see anything. You're still phased. Right. So Blizzard kind of put world PvP gently into the game. If you're getting pummeled by a couple of guys, just leave and hit a road. It seems the phasing removes you from the equation. And if you become an honorless target, nobody can see you. So that's kind of a nice steps that Blizzard's put in there to make sure that if somebody's corpse camping you, eventually they won't be able to see you. So you can resume questing or whatnot. So that was very handy. And on occasion, I would see the raid come through. And when the raid comes through, just you hope there's no demon hunter there to see stealth, and you just withdraw. I found that when I was killing an elite, if I accidentally hit a person of the other faction, we would both disengage. So that was kind of interesting to see that when people are questing, they just want to get the questing done. They're not into PvP whatsoever. Occasionally, I would pull somebody with less health than me, and it was evident that I was going to win, and I would just pull out of the combat. And if it was their kill, like if the mob was black to me or gray, that means I don't get any rep or loot from the mob. So I would just wait for them to kill the mob, and then they would wave at me, and then they would go on their way. So it's kind of nice the way it's done. There was no really like people being mean to anyone or whatnot. So war mode on was actually quite pleasant. I didn't see a lot of alliance when I was playing Horde and Nazjatar, and I played Mechagon. I played on my rogue because I just couldn't fathom having so many quests from both zones. When I played in Nazjatar, I basically had 10 Nazjatar quests pop up, and I cannot handle having 6 to 8 quests from both zones on my quest log. So I would just occasionally go to Nathanos or Matthias Shaw to find out what's going on in the other zone, and then just go back to Mechagon on my rogue, and then just stay in Nazjatar on my paladin and my mage. After about 4 days of playing 10 to 12 hours a day, I just couldn't do it. I just, you know what? I said, flying's going to wait a little bit. I've got my exploration done. I've got my all my previous reputations to revered. I've got everything that needs being done. The only thing left is about 10 days of reputation grind. So that can wait. Just like, I don't need to do it all in one go. I'm just wondering if I can do the Nazjatar rep on Horde and do the Alliance rep on Mechagon. So that's going to be, I guess, my discovery is at the end of the day, if I've done all the quests on Alliance, do I get an unlock on the Horde side for the flying? As a surprise, on my first day, I unlocked the X-995 Mechanocat, which has 8 paint jobs. So there's 7 paint jobs that are described on Wowhead where to get them. And there's an achievement, which we don't know where the 8th paint job is. Probably in the Mechagon dungeon off a boss.
No. No? 7 paint jobs, and the 8th is the reward for the 7 collected.
Okay. So, I wouldn't have known that.
And that's the blue one.
Nice.
But there is no black and no purple, so they can keep their paints.
Nice.
I want a purple or I want a black. So my cat is going to stay unpainted.
Well, I'm going to try and get my paint jobs at some point, but I'm going to probably wait for flying to get started on that, unless it drops off the bosses and I happen to be there when they drop. The nice things when you play multi-box is if you're chasing rares, you can leave one character in front of the spot for the rare while the other character is doing the dailies. So that's what I did a lot on the first day. Is my rogue was in Mechagon, and my mage was on Nazjatar, and I got a zone-wide request: come get your free mount. Free mount. This is free mount thing. So anyway, I'm waiting, and like 3 hours later, they're still putting out the call zone wide. Okay, I'm gonna go check this out. So. Anyway, there's a seahorse that's jumping around, hardly moving, and has very little health, like 30,000 health. It's like you could probably easily bring it down, but somebody says it's immune to damage. Just take a selfie with it. Okay, so the seahorse is called Fabius. So I took my screenshot with Fabius, and then pop, you now have a new mount. Okay, so it really is a free horse, but you just don't damage it if you see it. If you see Fabius, he's all the way on the western edge of the map. I make him about as far as you can go. One guy, what he did is he used his warrior to taunt it, and then he turned off auto attack. So Fabius just stayed on one spot, trying to attack him, and the guy had too much self regen to be taking any damage. So that was great because he stayed there for about 3 hours. People made portals, they summoned people. And I myself text Grand Negus, said, do you have this mount? He said no. So he hopped on the back of my mage. I took his warlock down to the right spot and I dropped him off. And I said, just take a selfie. And I heard his shutter go off, so I know he has the mount now. Yep. That was great. Also, I logged in a couple days later and I got the thing saying, you have bought a 6-month subscription. You get a free mount.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I saw that.
I go, what's that all about? So if you buy a 6-mount subscription to WoW...
And right now it's on sale for a third off or something?
Something like that. You get the Silverian Dreamer mount, which is basically this gigantic drake, which changes color a little bit when you turn it around and fly. It's quite beautiful. And that wasn't my only surprise. As I was logging in to Contracts 11, I got 4 achievements pop up at the same time. I put a screenshot.
Nice.
Which you can see at controloutwow.com.
That blog
and
spot.
If you look towards the top, I got Call Runnings, which is about riding the penguin slides. So I was in Tearsguard Sound and I found a penguin offering a world quest to slide down while you're being chased by the abominable snowman. So I did that quest and I got the achievement because that was the third one for all of Kultiras. So there's an achievement for the Horde side as well.
Right.
I got Lord of the Rings for having 300 usable mounts on a single character. So if you log in on Constructs 11, my Paladin Horde side, he has a couple extra mounts because he's a Paladin. He also has a leatherworking mount, which not all professions have. And he has 345 mounts, but some are alliance that he can't use or can only be used by other classes. So on that particular character, it's usually on a paladin that it happens, is I got an extra amount to take me over to 300. I knew I was close. I thought I had 294 usable on my rogue. So when I switched over to paladin, with those 3, it carried me over. And so that was pretty overwhelming because I really didn't see it coming. And then as far as my druid goes, I noticed that my damage is really, really tame on my rogue. So I don't know if I have to switch spec because I only do like 5% damage per hit on leather, which is ridiculous. It's not even worth talking about. So it takes me quite a bit of time to bring down a character to the same level. So I don't know if I'm going to keep playing my outlaw spec because that's not competitive damage. It shouldn't take 20 hits to get a character down who's not fighting back. So I'm considering my options. And there's times where you just have to run away and pick flowers and rocks. And basically the druid, I kept going to Athanos Lightcaller to try and go to the underwater zone. And he first wants a couple quests done with the war campaign, so I have enough champions. Because I think once you unlock all the research, you need that extra champion to unlock the final tier. I think you need 3 or 5 champions to unlock the final tier. So I've done on my paladin the 3 island expeditions. The other 2 are up, so I got to finish those up today, and then I'll be able to proceed to the next tier research. There's a quest on the second day that you get to find a captain of the sunken ships. So I'm going to be doing that to get a 6th champion on my rogue. So because 6 is not bad, 5 is really good, but 6 gives you that 2 engineering one to do the quest super fast. So that's kind of good. And it also makes you have better ability to do the quests that are deep sea elements, because there's a new deterrent when you can't counter that deep sea dive deterrent. Then the time of the quest is like 6 days, which is enormous. It's like a 6-day quest should be, but if you can counter that, then you can get benthic gear for really a day of waiting, and your champions will bring it back to you. So on my druid, I equipped her with 7 pieces of benthic gear that she didn't have to earn. So as soon as she was 120, she was able to equip 3 pieces of benthic gear to already go into war fronts. So you can skip a whole lot of stuff. You can skip heroics if you don't like heroics, if you don't like 5 men. But if you want to resolve the quests, you can do it on normal, and then that'll save you time because you really blitz through the dungeon. And I'm still using the Ask Mr. Robot add-on to clear the non-useful, like the useless items. So, or the items that are not of no value in this expansion. So anything too older, 2 expansions, I try to get rid of. Hi, Lost Cause, and that's pretty much been my week.
Awesome. Sounds like a good week. Oh, excellent. Oh, how you doing? I get excited, I get giddy, and love making mini alts. My dog is trying to poop for the Horde and for the Alliance. It was funny on my head.
Hey, Aprillian, how was your week?
My week has been good. You know, my main goal right now that I'm obsessed with is Night Fallen. and I'm 12,266 into 2,100 for revered. Yeah, it's not bad. It's actually going pretty fast. I took a moment out to to try to do some fires, and right now I'm in Gorgom, and I think either Handy Notes is broken, or maybe it's a phased area because I can't find. I'm in Tanan Jungle trying to find this stupid fire, and I can't get to it. There is none? Okay, so let me get out of here. The fire is a lie. I have been dual boxing April and Aprillian, and I found out something the other day that when I die out at the Timeless Isles, or wherever I am, the Isle, that's where I am? No, not Timeless. Yeah, where the Night Fallen is, I can fly in certain areas.
Timeless Isle, Broken Isles.
Broken Isles, sorry, got my Isles confused. The Broken Isles. It's kind of hard getting into those areas where you have to do those certain quests for Nightfallen, but that $350 rep is just so tempting. A couple of points. It was either feast or famine on the mana crystals. Sometimes I would go to feed somebody and find out I didn't have any, or I had to open up a mana pack, or the mana pack didn't have any, and that was kind of crazy. I'm also taking some lower level tunes to the to different fires, because there's so much XP there. It's just like XP sitting there waiting, just laying on the ground. I've been doing the daily cooking crest in Orgrimmar, my tunes, and I have been doing some of my I'm just all over the place. I've been doing garrisons. I've been doing order hall stuff. Because I've been out in Broken Isles, I ended up with mega order hall resources. So I've been able to, get my imps. And but mainly when I'm doing the garrisons, I'm only doing it for garrison resources, because all I really want is the fur to give to Aprillian so that she can make some hexweave bags. Of course, she got her month of the drink of the month gift. Brew of the month. Boy, that's the gift that just keeps on giving.
Yep.
It's funny, I haven't actually pinpointed the exact time that I need to visit these guys. I guess it's on a 24-hour thing and not a daily reset. But yeah, I'm having fun. I'm getting around. I'm finally learning this area. I was thinking yesterday how sad it's going to be when I can finally get my Nightfallen ally species, whatever I'm looking, what the whole purpose of this thing, and I can stop doing these quests. I'm getting a lot of XP from just stupid stuff like mining and herbing, which is kind of nice. I shouldn't call it stupid, but it's like so weird when you hit a node and you get 3,000 something, 300 and something, and it's worth it though.
The time that you can do it, and remember that classic. Once you get to classic, you want to have that luxury.
Right. Aprillian is now 39 into 114 for 115, and April is almost ready to ding 114. We're still phased unless we group up, and sometimes they don't get the same quests, but it's fun working together because I'm all about the dual boxing, and I guess that's been my week. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm loving these little mana bags you get sometimes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you never know what's in it. And, all right, I was down to 109, but there's some... I've also been mining in my garrison. I don't know why I do it. I just find it relaxing.
Yeah.
You know. And that's been my week. It's been a good week, a good productive week.
Nice.
And I'm thinking about going for that 6-month subscription, just so I can get that mount. I guess Blizzard knows what they're doing. And and I'm also putting out lots of fires. And I forgot one more thing. I'm also taking April down to Tanaris because I want to get rid of that whole Mount Quest. For the little pet. So that's been good. And that's really been my week.
Really?
I find it very, very easy to be true. Am allerschönsten war es doch zu Haus, und dann zog mich einst in die Welt hinaus. Und in der Ferne suchte ich mein Glück. Wer kennt den Weg zurück?
And now it's time for Add-on Spotlight and a whole bunch of other things with Grand Negus. What do you have for us this week, Grand Negus?
As for my week, we Constructs talked about the invite that he threw out towards me. And thank you so very much for that.
They've been pestering me for 3 hours, so I thought I'd at least offer it at once to someone.
Yeah, and by the way, hi Dave the Hunter, welcome to the chat room.
Hi.
I came on Twilane on my warlock, like Construct said, and I got the fabulous water seahorse thingy, which was my very first 8.2 mount. And then I had this I don't know what to call it. I wanted to do something, but I really didn't care about how quickly or in what order. But then I realized that you have to make it, you have to quest in a certain order to unlock both of the islands, or the island of Mechagon and the the area that's been void of water for a week almost now.
Yeah.
That is Nazjatar and Zinashari and all that stuff, and it's fascinating storytelling. But again, I'm not sure I want to go there yet, because I want to savor all the cool story, but then again I want to see it and experience it, so I'm torn.
Right.
Now that said, you have to start in Nazjatar, and once you unlock that, once you have gone and visited the Heart of Azeroth Chamber of Hearts, or Heart, or whatever it's called, and visited Magni, and then you come back to Nazjatar. Then apparently, or after you turned in the quest there, telling them, oh, here I am again, I'm back. Then all of a sudden a gnome shows up and tells you, ooh, I've been sent by Overspark in the case of the Orion. What?
Mechatork.
No, Overspark, not Mechatork. Mechatork is considered almost dead.
Oh.
Think Master Overspark. Okay. And Gaslow on the
Horde side.
On the Horde side. So those then you get that summons, so to speak, and then you return to your respective faction hubs, either the Zaralor or Brothers, and then you start the quest to go to Mechagon. If you should be an engineer and should have reached skill 150, you can do additional quests to unlock new items, to learn, to craft, that kind of hint at Mechagon as well. So if you are an engineer, definitely do, and you have a skill of at least 150, go and do those first. There are like 5 or 6 quests that teach you to craft the new items that have been added, or some of them. Because you can't learn them, you can't just go to the trainer and learn them. It doesn't work. You have to learn them as a reward for completing the quest chain. Even though they are included in the list of unlearned schematics, but that's just how it works. So do that first. Then you go to Mechagon, and let me tell you, I'm torn between the awesome lore in Nazjatar and the way that Mechagon is built. I really, really love Mechagon. It's something that I've been waiting for years. The freedom of exploring and going around, not being tied down too much by quests. Yes, there are quests, obviously, daily quests, and oh yeah, we have daily quests again, not just quests and world quests. We have daily quests again.
Oh, nice.
So that is a surprising yet nice change to see that they added the third variant of quests again to make that a little more
interesting,
make it a little more diverse, where I think I talked about this, or did I talk about this last week, where now we have the world quests, or we had the world quests until now, but you always had to look at the timer. If there was a quest that was kind of short and you wanted a reward, you basically couldn't, like, if it was like late at night, you couldn't go to sleep and then do it in the morning or after work, because then it was gone. So with the normal dailies, you always have that 24-hour time period. Always fixed, set in stone, guaranteed. You can basically always find the time to do it within that 24-hour time slot. So that's something that I always liked about it. Granted, yes, it's nice to see that there are world quests whose duration is longer than 24 hours. Primarily the quests to kill the world bosses and all that stuff. So, or the like really, really big rewards where you have like a big chunk of war resources or stuff like that. So, but still, in my opinion, it's more reliable time-wise. The concept of dailies is better, in my opinion, than the different time time periods. I get it that you get more quests if you have quests run out in a shorter period of time.
Right.
If you have a 6-hour period on a quest, which I think is the shortest.
Right.
And you have 4 of them, one after the other, in a 24-hour time period. That's 4 quests you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Versus one that lasts for 24 hours. I can totally see that.
Right.
But in my opinion, there are only so many quests you can do. And you can't do quests in the middle of the night if you are if you're sleeping. It doesn't work. So 1, maybe 2, you won't be able to do anyway. If you're at work, if you're of the working kind, so to speak, it's probably 3 you won't be able to do of the 4. So you might be lucky to get to do 2 because you get home and the 6-hour period ends just after you get home. So there are like these things where I see that they want to give you diversity, but I don't know. It's something that I'd rather see more dailies than work quests. But again, that's me, and yeah. So anyway, we have dailies again, and I really like that. It's the second time now that we have the faction, respectively, in Nazjatar being a emissary quest, alliance or a war effort, alliance award. So that gives you 3,000 if you did the first one and now you do the second. It's basically 3,000 free rep. So that's good that we get to do that. The Rustboard Resistance, the Mechagon faction, does not have an emissary. Don't scratch your head and wonder why isn't it showing up. Don't start writing tickets and complain. Don't bug the WoW devs on Twitter. Where is the Rustboard Resistant faction emissary quest? It's not going to show up because there isn't any. So that's not going to happen. Back to Mechagon, I really, like I said before, we had the 8.2. For me, the closest comparison is the Timeless Isle. the freedom of the Timeless Isle to go and just senselessly slaughtering everything that's there that you can get between your blades, so to speak.
Yeah.
That you can stab and punch and light on fire or whatever. Just go out there for an hour and just massacre the entire island if you want to, if you can get away with it. Yeah. And just collect scrap parts, and then turn them into Pascal, the big robot, and then craft your stuff. And I did so not on the first day, but yesterday for me. And I got my own X995 Mechagon.
Oh, congrats.
So I got my Mechagon kitty, and I really like it. It's I put the pictures of the item and of the requirements and all that in the show notes, so you can see. And I put a picture of my little rogue on the unpainted version of it, because, like I mentioned before, or was it in the pre-show? I can't remember. This is a official complaint, Blizzard. If you are listening, we need 10 tints, 10 paint jobs. We need black and we need purple, please. So, don't understand why we don't have them. Pink, we don't have pink either, so that's 11. I'm not sure why we don't have these normal colors. Gold and yellow and bronze and green and red and blue and copper and what's with black and purple and pink? Where are they? Really, I don't understand that.
Me either.
Are you going to want to eventually make us buy them? Because I heard some rumors from some website, and I'm not going to go into this too much, that apparently maybe we are going to have to buy our new allied races to unlock them. That would be, I don't know what I would think of that. And no, ain't gonna happen, guys.
Right,
so
right.
Don't even start thinking about that. That would be all kinds of wrong. So yeah, add a couple of more paint jobs for free or for whatever in-game currency. Just leave them out of the in-game shop, please. Yeah, so effectively we have 9 colors, because the color of the unpainted looks kind of cool, actually, in my opinion. I really like the color of the unpainted Mechagon. And it's one of the few, I think, I'm not sure as how many there are, but there is at least 2 versions. I've seen a red and I've seen the unpainted that have blue, that have red eyes. Most of the others have yellow eyes. So I'm not sure why that is, but yeah, that's just how it is. So that's one thing. The other thing is and that's the first thing that I did when I logged in after 8.2 went live. I went and started the quest chain on my gnome rogue to unlock the heritage armor for the gnomes. Now let me tell you, there were some bumps in the road to do that, because two requirements need to be met. You need to have a 120 gnome or tauren if you're horde.
Right.
And you need to have max rep with Mechagon or Thunderbluff on, not necessarily on the same character, but on the same account.
Oh.
Not on the same Battle.net account, on the same account.
Oh.
Oh, yes, exactly.
Wow.
So, I didn't see that clarified anywhere. So, none of my tunes on my second account, on which my 120 gnome rogue is, had max level with Mechagon. Oops. That was a little...
Does that mean you're going to be doing the dailies at the Argent tournament?
Oh, I did everything already. No, what I did, I started the dailies. It took me about 3 days.
Yeah.
Until I found something that I could do.
Yeah.
So I started at mid-friendly.
Okay.
With the rep. And the first day I ended up at just barely into honored. And then I thought, this isn't going to work. This doesn't look good, and it's not very, So I did some experiments. I went to the Argent tournament, like you said, Constructs.
Yeah.
The only issue, though, is what do you do with the Argent tournament if you haven't unlocked anything yet?
Yeah.
Because you only get rep for a faction, in my case, Mechagon, once you did the 3 days of initial, what do you call it? Gathering of the 15 tokens thingies there. So you need 3 days before you can start gathering rep.
Yeah.
So I thought, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to wait that long. So now what do I do? So I went back to Stormwind. Okay, let's see how we can best do this. I went into Stockades, went through there in like 5 minutes. But 3 to 5 rep per kill. No, wasn't satisfactory either.
Right.
Lost cause says BC dungeons with a tabard. Kind of. The only issue is that the only one that you can really do it with is Manatomes.
Oh, yeah.
Because you need to take into account the fact that not all BC dungeons end where you start.
Right.
So you have to run back all the way for many of them. And that alone takes valuable time. So, like, for instance, going through, say, Shattered Halls. That's the worst of them all. But they gave the most rep. So, I thought, that's not really what I want. So what I did then is I went to BRD and looked there, and that still same amount, 3 to 5 rep per kill ain't gonna work. So then I thought, what dungeons can I work with? Because BRD, I figured BRD I can use the mole machine to get back to the entrance real quick, to cut the return trip short. That's why I went there, to see if that was working, but it really didn't. So how can I maximize the output on rep versus run back to the entrance? And I went, I thought, like Lost Cause said, you can go with Burning Crusade, but again, that really didn't do it for me. And then I looked further to Burning to Lich King, and so I came up with like Ulduar.
Oh, nice.
Halls of Stone doesn't work because there is no way back, but Halls of Lightning, you can sneak behind Loken's throne and jump down there after you've done and then run back. That's not a bad thing. So I went there, did 4 or 5 runs through that, and it was kind of good. And I would have continued. Then all of a sudden it hit me. Then I came up with the most genius idea, in my opinion. And that's where you are kind of right, Construx. I went back to the Argent tournament and went into the dungeon. On normal difficulty. No walking back and forth, no nothing.
Yeah.
You are at the door all the time. It's just one big room.
Yeah.
So what I did was I took my lance, my stick, and put that on, mounted up on the horse. Since Alliance talked to the guy in the middle, dismounted again, changed to my normal weapons, and let them come. And the good thing with it, you get 15 to 30, I think 15 rep per kill.
Nice.
Any boss gives you 15 rep as well, but the last boss, the Black Knight, gives you 900 rep. So, all in all, on a non-human tune, just shy of 2,400 per run. And it takes you roughly 5 minutes to do one run.
Nice.
So that was what I came up with, and how I did it, time and time again, and over and over, and then I finished the rep grind that way, and so, and then I went to went to the embassy, and outside the embassy, once you walk toward or run or ride towards the embassy, outside by the roadside on the left-hand side is a little a Mechagon strider with a little gnome.
Yeah.
And they have the quest for you. And that's how you started, and that's when you where you go from there. You just go and go to Mechagon outside or to New Tinkertown, and then proceed from there. I'm not going to spoil anything. It's an interesting, nice little story of Gnomish history and some feuds and some stuff. So it's really nice. And in the end, you get your Gnomish heritage armor and something that I don't know if there's an equivalent for the Tauren. I don't see what could be, but again, lack of imagination. I'm willing to be taught better if that's what it is. You get a item at the end, along with the unlock of the armor, which is a 9-piece armor set for the gnomes versus an 8-piece armor set for the Tauren, because the Tauren don't have a cape, cloak.
Oh, that's interesting.
They have on the back, they have their big totem.
Yeah.
Which apparently, I'm not sure, but apparently is part of the chest piece. At least that's what I figured, because that makes the most sense. It's on the back.
God, it is so beautiful, that mount. There's somebody in Orgrimmar with that 6-month mount, and it is just beautiful. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so again, like I said, 9 pieces versus 8 pieces for the Tauren, and the gnomes get an item that basically replaces your Flight Master's whistle.
Yeah.
Much like you get the 743 different Hearthstones if you are willing to grind all of those with the different holidays and whatnot. So, or archaeology or whatever. So this is the first, though, the first alternate item that you get versus the Flight Master's whistle, and it is called the Gear Tracking Beacon. And the basic, and it's not a toy. So you will.
So you have to keep it in your bag.
Yes, and apparently, I'm saying this with great caution. Apparently, you will only get one of those. One toon will get one of those because it is a soulbound item. It is a unique item. It is a quest chain that is only doable once per account. Once it's unlocked, it's unlocked. Whether it's going to be once per Battle.net account or once per account, I don't know. I just know that since they said that the Heritage Armor quest chain is a unique experience. Unique meaning one. it doesn't appear that you can get those things on any other tune, which is sad. In my opinion, they should give you a copy of the item in the mailbox.
For every tune.
For every tune that acquires the ability to use a Flight Master's whistle. I do not have a second tune, a second gnome that is as high.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't confirm nor deny that that's not possible. Or that that's not the fact. That we don't get it. I don't know it. But it might be, but I don't think, I would really like it to be true, because the armor is unlocked for the entire account. So why not? And we know that they can assign something to your account on a standard basis.
Right.
Like if you go and get the Brewfest achievement, where you get your brew every month.
Right.
That's that's something that you get as well, and they send it to you in the mail. The new water walking stuff, equipment, mount equipment, you get that sent to each tune as well.
Mm-hmm.
So what would be so different by just sending that thing to each and every gnome that is level 100?
Right.
100 is when you can use the first, I think, or is it 110? Flight Master's whistle started when? When did we get to use it the first time?
I think it's 110.
Was
Legion.
it Legion, so it's 110 then. Okay,
Right.
so yeah, once you're 110 and you're a gnome, you get one of these gear tracking beacons sent to you. So yeah, that shouldn't be too difficult, Blizzard. Please do that, because if you look at the picture, that's a little further down below the heritage armor picture. You can see the special mount that you get to fly off in after you use the Flight Master's whistle. And it's the mount that you get transported to Mechagon with. And the mount that is being used to transport you around on the quest chain that you do to unlock the heritage armor. But I've never seen this type of paint job anywhere else, so it's kind of unique. So again, in my opinion, that should be well within Blizzard's capabilities to do that. Yeah. With that said, let's get to the add-on spotlight.
Okay.
And today I listened to a Twitch streamer, Taliesin and Evertel, and Telly was thanking someone named Tomcat, and he does. I've talked about some of his add-ons before, And the add-on I've talked about, I think, is called Tomcat Tours. If you go and if you go to the Twitch client and enter Tomcat's Tours Complete, you will get a whole slew of add-ons loaded to your folder. You can turn them on and off, disinstall them or whatnot, uncheck them and not have them load. That's what I wanted to say. Because, and this is something that I haven't heard of before, other than modules. But these add-ons don't really sound like modules. But anyway, be that as it may. If you can get quite a few add-ons that he made, among others, he made add-on modules for handy notes, for Nazjatar and Mechagon, coordinates for retail and classic, so we can get a coordinates add-on for classic.
Nice.
Rares for both Dark Shore Warfronts and Arathi Highlands Warfront.
Yeah.
For several of the holidays, like where you collect stuff, like Hallows End and Lunar Festival. I haven't seen one for the Midsummer Fire Festival yet in the list that I'm looking at. But Love is in the Air. But again, if you want the complete set and you don't want individual downloads, you can just enter Tomcats and you'll see all the different single add-ons, or you can just go and download Tomcat's Tours Complete and you get all of them. So there are those two options. I think that they are really, really great, and the feature I like most, and the reason why I like this is the feature that I like most is the way that the rares are displayed on the map. On Mechagon and basically all of the content from BFA. You are going to see if you open your, and I haven't been able to find a screenshot. Otherwise, I would have put in a screenshot. Maybe I'm going to create one myself and put it in. But no guarantees. If you look, if you install the add-on, I'm not sure as to what add-on specifically it is, whether it is the Handy Notes module or whether it's the normal rares one. Because I think it must be the Handy Notes module. But anyway, you'll see each rare represented by a golden star. Big, chunky golden star with a black border. So it isn't, you can't miss it. If you mouse over it, you'll see the loot that you can get from it.
Oh, nice.
If you have killed that or any of the rares within the period, the cooldown or the whatever period, it'll become a what are they called? The tag, the green tag off thing. When it's like something you're done and you write is
like a normal mob or something.
Yeah, no, it's going to change to a I don't know what the term for that thing is. It's like a anyway, you'll see it's like a green marker that indicates a task done.
Right.
I'm not sure what it's called. I'm sorry that
you're blanking at the moment.
No, I'm not familiar. No, it's not blanking. I'm just not. English isn't my language. My first
English is amazing. I gotta say.
Right, I know.
People.
Your English is much better than my German.
Anyway, yeah. So you'll definitely see that that you can immediately see which ads/rares you've already killed. And it still keeps the loot indicator tooltip active once you killed it, so you can see that. Again, like I said, there is one for Mechagon, one for Nazjatar, and one for each of the war fronts. So, really, really great add-on. Yeah, if you want to, and I put this in the add-on spotlight section, you just go and type in Tomcats, and you'll get the list of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15, 16, something like that, add-ons.
Wow.
Including the complete one that includes all of them. And you don't have to bother with the individual ones. Be aware, though, if you install the complete ones, you get all of them, and all of them are being updated. So if you don't want one or the other, and you use the complete one, and you uninstall the one or the two of the ones you don't want, with the next update, it's going to be reinstalled.
Oh, wow.
So if you want specific ones, don't use the complete bundle. So there is that too. And that's been my week.
Awesome.
I guess it's time for email now.
Email, folks?
Email. Email.
La data. You've got mail. Who's next? I'm addicted to you, baby.
Lovely little email. Our first email is from Dorothy. And it says, "Hello, my name is Dorothy. I was instructed by Grand Negus via Discord to email you for a guild invite on Earthen Ring. The character I have in a Zandalori paladin named Dorothy." Thank you, Dorothy. Technically, that counts as a chance to get an invite into the guild. For further reference, we like to know a little bit about you. why you play, how you play, but we will accept this. And welcome to Clan of Darkness, or Clan of Darkness 2, whichever one you decide to join. All right. And our second email is from Kyle. And Kyle says, here are my audios for the week. The Blast from the Past comes to you from episode 376. Enjoy, Kyle. Is Kyle in the audience with us?
No.
Okay.
He was earlier.
Oh, he was earlier. Okay. Well, thank you, Kyle. Thanks for your Blast from the Past. Let's listen to Kyle's week.
Hello, Control Alt WoW, Kyle here. Well, let's see. First thing on my written list here of things I want to talk about. Those of you that have subscribed on the 6-month payment plan got a new mount. So I'm one of those lucky ones that has that new Sylvanian Dreamer, whatever you call it. I know it's pretty. It's a new mount. So that was a really happy surprise I got. On the fishing front, I realized after probably about 2 or 3 days after hitting Revered that in Pandaria you could buy those things at Revered that accelerates the amount of reputation you gain. So derp, I forgot about that, but I did get that, and now I am 1 day away from getting Exalted and getting my Water Strider mount and getting my Water Walking mount equipment. So hopefully by tomorrow I should be able to log on, maybe tomorrow evening. I don't know, something like. Hopefully by tomorrow I'll be Exalted with the Anglers. I'll have my Water Strider, and that's one big check mark off my list. And I also noticed I gotta probably go back in game because I didn't write it down, but it almost looks like that the mount is cheaper now than it used to be, or maybe they split the cost of the mount. Original amount between the mount and the piece of equipment. I don't remember. Whatever. Let's see. I've done a bunch of the new content on my main Shaman Zald on Bleeding Hollow. Basically opened up all of Nazjatar and Mechagon and got daily quests and all. Yeah, I just did a whole bunch of stuff there. One thing I noticed that was kind of neat and kind of annoying was that when I looted up something, I got this mysterious cursed item. I didn't think much anything of it until I looked at my status bars in the middle of the fight going, where am I getting all these curses and why is Dispel Curse not working? Here, it was that one coin that I picked up that actually applies a curse on you, and periodically it will apply some random curse, like reduce your maximum health by a stacking 5%, or increase the chance that you'll be critically hit by 10% for each stack. So that made things a bit difficult, and there was nothing on the world map indicating where I had to hand it in, so I had to do a quick internet search and trial and error to finally find the Tortollan hiding in a underwater cave in a very not big body of water. I know, it was weird. So yeah, beware. If you pick up cursed items, you might be able to survive it for a while, but probably turn it in because those stacks, oh god, there's some points where I had like a plus 60% chance to be critically hit and like a 20% max health reduction. It does have it has like a minute or 2 minute timer on it, so it will go off eventually, but it's not that fun. Let's see. And I've also I got the gumption to work on my Alliance tune. I have 110 Pandaren Shaman on, I can't remember, is it Tichondrius or some other server. I leveled that a long time ago. For reasons. But the reason why I decided to start going into Alliance territory is that while browsing the achievements, because that's one thing I do when I'm on a flight path or I'm bored, I just kind of go through random achievements. Apparently, there's an achievement for getting a max level Horde and Alliance tune and doing both of their respective war campaign quests. Might have been mentioned before. I wasn't paying attention. Sorry. But yeah, apparently there's not only an achievement, but you get a mount for doing that. So that was enough of an incentive for me to go, I'm going to go level this Alliance character now. I just needed a little nudge in that direction, I guess. And that's been about my week. hope you've all had a great one, and hope you all in the States have a great 4th of July. Everyone else, just use this as an excuse to take some vacation time and just take some vacation time and play WoW. Just do it. Bleh. Oh, and while you're at it, too, send some emails. It's getting kind of lonely often being the only person doing a submission in the email category, so just send something. You listen or hear my drivel, which I don't think is all that exciting, but it's, something. It's just how I'm playing, what I'm doing. Maybe it gives you some ideas. Maybe it gets you inspiration to try something. So share with Aprillian, share with Constract, share with Grand Nagus what you're doing or what you've been up to or what you've been thinking of, or maybe ask Constract some questions on how you can master the auction house and make millions and millions of gold, or ask Aprillian how she's able to manage 4 or 5 accounts at once and what her spreadsheet looks like, or ask Grand Nagus about an add-on you've been looking into, or ask him for more detail about an add-on that you're using or that you want to get into, or I don't know, or just tell me how you're doing. Just say hi, send something. I know you're out there. Say hi, send me your love. Anyway, that's it for me. Take care, everybody. Until next week.
Have you encountered those curses?
Nope, not me.
Okay. But I could see how they...
There's a quest that's called let me tell you for a sec. It's in Storm Song Valley, and there's the equivalent in Ordside. Ruin has come. So when you pick up that quest, you get multiple debuffs when you try to complete it every day. There's an achievement for it. I don't know what it is exactly.
Oh, that's exciting. All right.
I don't either.
I'm glad you're getting to play, and I agree. I wish we did get more emails, but I understand. People like to listen rather than participate, and we appreciate you, Kyle, so much.
Very much, yes.
Yeah, and I haven't tried the new content yet, so you're way ahead of me, Kyle. Enjoy, though. All right. Now we're going to listen to Kyle's Blast from the Past.
Yay.
Go ahead.
Remember corpse running back in vanilla. That was pretty interesting. Some of the runs that I remember having to do.
Which
that first run from Night Elves when you wanted to go to Stormwind.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to take the boat across, and then that run from, what was that town? That little town where you got off the boat and they had to run up through the caves up into Iron Forge, and then, oh gosh, it was forever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Remember
how I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't play vanilla.
You mean you had to go to the tram? No.
Well, yeah, you went. Once you got to Iron Forge, you got on the tram.
Yeah.
But you had to take that run up through the mountains, through the marshes, and the crocodiles on either side would kill you, and then you'd get to those series of tunnels that went up the mountain towards Iron Forge.
Was it from Menethil Harbor?
Yeah,
I think it was.
Harbor.
Yeah, because you had to go from Teldrassil right across, and then run all the way down from Darkshore right through as far down as where is it? Bracken.
Wall.
What's it?
A Bracken Wall, wasn't it?
Bracken Dustwallow Marsh to Theramore.
Yeah.
Theramore Isle. Yeah. And because if you went via Ratchet, then
wetlands. Yeah,
then you had
run
to
through wetlands.
And that was another painful one as well. So if you went either Ratchet, because then you had to go through STV, and STV at a level like 15.
Oh, forget it.
Then, that was nasty.
Yeah,
mind you,
remembers it, and Grand Nagus. Mimi says it was the first time she saw that whole area, and she was just in awe.
Yeah.
Which expansion or patch did we get a whole bunch of graveyards? I remember because I was in Angora Crater, And every time you died, you'd end up all the way on the east side. And it was so hard running back.
I can't remember.
But they added, what game, what part of your life would you go, oh, God, more graveyards. How exciting.
So true.
Yeah.
Well, now, if you're into genealogy like I am, graveyards are wonderful places.
Yeah, my brother-in-law is a genealogist, too.
I love graveyards.
Oh, wow.
But we call them cemeteries.
So you call them primary sources, right?
Yes, primary sources.
Yeah.
We've got a new project that we've started. So just for something, because there's never enough for us to do. So this new project I'm going to talk about is open to everyone of Clan of Darkness. Okay, this is not exclusive to anyone in particular. So what it is a healers. This is about healers, and we're calling it Shaka Khan. Don't ask me. The boys came up with that.
It's I heal for you. I heal for you.
Yes.
I think I'll heal you.
Sheo and his 80s music, I tell you.
Oh, that is so cool. I almost named Maya Shaka. That was my first
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So the aim of the project, so for anyone who wants to do it, it's about leveling a healer. Now, the tunes need to be Horde side on Earthen Ring, and you will put them into Clan of Darkness 2. Okay? So now your choice as to what race you want to go, not worried. This is not exclusive as long as it's the Horde race. However, the has to have a healer spec with the class. So something like I chose a Pally, and my spec, and the only spec I'm allowed to have will be Holy, which is the healer one for that.
Breaking news, level 50. Okay, we carry on.
Yay!
Congrats.
Gratsies. Now, the other thing is, so a class like priests, now you would think, well, priests should be okay. Well, priests have actually 2 healing specs. Okay. They have disc and they have holy. So there you go. But you've got chamois, druids, priests, paladins, and what's the other one that I'm having a mental blank? Monks. Was it 5?
Right. Yeah.
I think it's, yeah. Heirlooms are allowed. Ooh, so if you want to put heirlooms on them, absolutely. One of the professions has to be engineering. There is no getting around this.
And why is that?
Well, the reason this is
not having done healing and not having done engineering, I have no idea.
Well, this is as told to me by the boys. So engineering has got lots of trinkety things, and also if we need to res, it's got, you can get jumper cables and various things. Plus it has like trinkety stuff when you get up to higher levels. You can teleport or whatever it is to various places around. It just is an interesting one. Now, I've not got a max level engineer myself yet. And engineering's never quite been one of my most favorite. So I'm embracing this, and I'm just going with it. So we will see. What we've got.
Grandnaggy says it's because engineering's the best profession ever.
Yeah.
What shocking insight.
And Tiger says the reason equals a Sheo.
I don't know. No, actually, I think it was more winging. So what we're going to be doing is that we'll be setting, there's reasonable goals for leveling. Okay. So at the moment, we're putting down that the goal is to hit level 20 by the 13th of July. Now, this is where you can level at your own pace. You can find someone else in the guild that wants to do it with you. One of the things that we want to do is we want to do some PvP runs. We want to do some guild runs. The main reason why we're putting them into Clan of Darkness 2 is so we can help level the guild. 2, get some of the guild achievements for various dungeons as we go along. So the whole reason for that is Clan of Darkness itself is well situated, well with where it is. So the whole reason for putting them into Clan of Darkness 2 is, to help build that up and to have some fun and whatnot. There's been mentioned it's going to be interesting with doing the healing. So we decided that we would go for a little quick run. So Wingy, Asheo, Duvasay, and myself, we all went into RFC.
Razorfen Crawl.
Thank you.
Ragefire Chasm.
Ragefire Chasm. Thank you.
Okay.
Under Ogrimmar today.
Oh,
and
the big one.
We did a little. So there was just the 4 of us. So there was 3 pallies and a priest. Walked into RFC.
All in healing spec?
All in healing spec.
Wow.
And you know what? We didn't have too much trouble. It was quite good. But I've put a photo of, we got the guild achievement for RFC. So yay. And
nice.
And there's a picture of us all looking very cute at the end after we took down the last boss. So yeah, it's all about a bit of fun. If anyone is interested in doing it, we've made a thank you, Aprillian. She's made a Shaka Khan rank in Clan of Darkness 2. So anyone who puts their tune into that, wanting to do the Healers Project, that's what you will be. And that's basically just so we can easily find you. If I'm needing to look up guild stuff, it's sometimes just easier to have everyone on a certain rank. So
right.
So that's what we're doing. So we would love to have people, come and have some fun. So, and it was hilarious fun doing RFC today, but we will see how it goes as we get.
I can't imagine. I mean, I can see some of the advantages, and you're doing it near level or.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, well, when I went in, I was level 11 because one of the things that we had that the boys and I were discussing was doing RFC at level 10, which really was a bit, crazy because really it's sort of a level 15 instance. And, I just happened to do a fishing daily quest and dinged 11 and the other Asheo and Wingy had both hit. Asheo had hit 11 and Wingy, I think, ended up hitting level 12. So I walked in there as level 11. Asheo was level 11. Wingy was level 12 and Duvasay was level 15. So we couldn't pick up any of the quests. I think the only person who could pick up the quest was Duvasay. And it was pretty good because all the mobs were orange to me, and I'm thinking, oh boy, how is this gonna go? But it actually went quite well.
She had finished all the flames, but she was pretty close. Now she had started at 87. And she got almost to 90 doing flames. So I was out in Dreadwaste doing some questing, and there's a screenshot of her in the brew garden. Boom! Level 90.
Woohoo! Awesome.
And it was nice. You can see I in the picture, I'm talking to the quest giver, but there's also another player standing behind the quest giver. So she said out, "Grats!" It's funny because I knew I was going to get it on this turn in, so I had to get it all lined up for my screenshot, so She's probably sitting there like, why isn't this chick turning in her quest? Just standing here, turning this way, turning that way.
Right,
like,
but there are more important things.
Yeah, I wanted to get a good picture with the barrels in the back so you could see where I was and everything.
Priorities. You gotta be able to look good when you take a screenshot.
That's right. Right. So of course, first thing I wanted to do was fly in Pandaria. Mm-hmm. So I hopped on the flight and I went up to the shrine and I went and talked to the flight trainer and she gave me the big red hand. I'm sorry, little girl, you can't afford this.
So, isn't that horrible when you realize you don't have enough money?
I was 43 gold short.
I mean, we're so cocky with money, and
how much does it take?
2,500.
Oh crap! I'm not going to have enough.
So normally I would just go, one of my other tunes and send her some money. But I'm like, oh, it's 43 gold. I've got some stuff in my bag, so
that you could sell.
Yeah, I cleared out my bags. I went to the Spirit of Harmony vendor, who's right there by the trainer, and I sold my bags. And I ended up with 150 to spare. So I got my flight, and I wasn't completely broke. And so she got on her big she took her Warforged Nightmare to the skies and went off to Timeless Isle to do some shopping. Shopping for no gold, because that's what she had. She had no gold left.
Oh wow. That Chaka con, I feel for you. That sounds like fun. I can't imagine though going into an instance with only healers. But what a challenge, right?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so it's nice to hear from you guys. It's so good to hear from Rogue Slayer and Tidra and Lita. So thank you, Kyle, for the blast from the past. And now's the time I get to play this.
We're clan of darkness here together. What's in an egg that we can't weather? Apocalypse. We've all been there. The same old boss. Why should we care? We're clan of darkness here together. What's in an egg that we can't weather? There's nothing that we can't face. Except for bunnies.
Contracts. How are the clans of darknesses? I and Control Alt WoW on Neverhoof and Wormrester Core doing?
Well, Neverhoof is seeing a lot of action, but first on Clan of Darkness US, we have Jade Flames at level 20. Congratulations. On Winterhoof, we have Little Bit Verdi at level 10.
Oh, congrats.
We also have Little Bit Verdi at level 20. Congratulations. That's not easy to level.
No.
And we have Sky Green at level 80. And this week, we need a song for level 43.
Funny how time flies when you're having fun.
We all want to congratulate Peace Out for achieving Time Flies When You're Having Fun with Clans of Darkness and Control Alt WoW on the Winterhoof. And thank you so much for all your efforts. And we really, really, really appreciate it.
Right.
And that's it for this week for the Clans of Darkness.
All right. Good job, everybody. And, we got this new patch. We got these new things. It's going to be a crazy week. We look forward to hearing from you next week. And like Kyle said, come on, guys, let's get some emails. We know you're listening, so send them in. But thank you guys for being here. Anything we want to add before we go?
Keep on trekking.
On trekking. Put out those flames. Lots of XP sitting there on the table. Yep. This is Aprillian for the Horde.
And this is Constrax for fishing in Battle for Azeroth.
And this is Pink Grand Negus, Rule of Acquisition, number 19. Satisfaction is not guaranteed. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. All right, guys. Good show. Thanks for everything. Thanks for your patience.
Thank you very much, Lost Cause, for hanging out with us.
Yes.
Yeah, hi, Lost Cause. Maybe you might want to join in next week. Think about it. It's possible for a plain yellow pumpkin.
All it takes is an email.
Yeah,
that's right.
Or we could bring you into the actual.
Or we can do that.
Yeah, we can.
Physical contribution.
We have the technology since you're there. All right.
We have technology.
All right. Bye, guys. Thanks.
Bye,
I'll put this out.